TV bora ya maadili tupa ya kheri, hivyo nyote mujue hili. TV Alhaajar TV bora ya maadili tupa ya kheri, hivyo nyote mujue hili. TV Alhaajar.
Kismu hiyo maana iko kismu ya watu wazima iko vile vile kama zamani, si ndio? Waislamu wapya wanakuja, hizi ndio room zao juu na klasi zao vile vile. Tunakumbuka Darul Arqam
ni hapa.
Mwisho ni hapa sasa. Maana yake ilikuwa mwisho ni huko, unaona kidogo kama ameongeza kidogo, si ndio? Ameongeza kidogo. Mpaka huko kwa watu wazima, watu wazima wapya wanaoslimu hoja huko. All the new students of the adults who embrace Islam, they start there, and then it comes all the way to here. After this, you notice that's the Mahad section, which is so-called in English primary level. I don't know if they still have the Thanawiya level or not, because it started when we left. That basically, as we're leaving, that's when it started. Hajui tulipokuwa po sisi, baada ya hili ghorofa huko nyuma ilikuwa ni shamba tu. Sasa tulikuwa tukimbilia miembe huko. Alhamdulillah. Shana.
Katika nilipanda ofisi alafu tena kule mkono na hafidhi so.
Mara moja. If you look at that side, you notice. If you look at that side, you notice that this is a new section for the in the campus, because it didn't exist at our times. So this campus is known as for those who are blind, the blind students. That didn't exist in those days. Even over here, it was just a big forest, actually. At the moment,
memory in this side when you were.
The only thing I remember, we used to literally skip the buildings, come over here, and get some mangoes, run away.
Oh.
That's what we used to do.
It was just a forest?
It was just, there was nothing, just trees. That's how it was. We were coconut trees. We take some coconuts and then someone would chase us away and go back. Basically, alhamdulillah, it was nice, very nice. And as you know, the Ma'had said, the side, that section, it did exist on this side at the time, but now they've kind of expanded it and moved it over here as well. So you see the dormitories over here. Up there, it's a new part of the campus. So they built it, alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah. SubhanAllah, it's literally, the whole place has changed so much compared to how it was. It doesn't look the same.
So it gives you some hope and for new.
Of course, yes. Because seeing the fact that we have the section for the blind, and then they are catered for hifz, they memorize the Quran, and it has expanded. And the fact that I've heard the dormitory rooms for dorm rooms for hifz, hifz section, they moved to the other side where the only thing that there was the foundation. That's really nice to hear. It's really, there's a lot of hope, mashallah.
So the blind people, they memorizing Quran.
Yeah, I remember when we were there, and then you saw the students. There was literally like 3 or 4 students with big desks. They were the blind students memorizing Quran. Yeah.
Oh,
what the blind can do, the one who has eyesight, they can't do. I promise you. Their senses are way stronger than ours.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's the truth. Hapa siku hizi mafanya mikate wenyewe mashallah. Okay. Ingelikuwa iko mikate tayari ingetaka na mimi. Iko. Inshallah. Hapa ni nini hofu watu nini hata ifure kwa hamira, si ndio? Iwe tayari. So the processing of the bread, after they've literally put the dough together, they've made the bread, they put it in here for the yeast to do its magic, as you know, and then that's where they bake it. Mashallah. Jazakumullah khair. Nini twaje? Tuweza kupata mfuko tukachukua. Mashallah.
So this
is 100 times better. But this is the food.
So it's how many pieces for students?
Watu wanafunzi wangapi ule mkate mmoja ustadi? Watatu, si ndio?
So it's
right now it's like that. Yeah, no, it's a big slice per student.
So from morning session having this bread with porridge or tea only?
No, tea. Tea, yeah.
Then from which time until you
have
the breakfast?
Yeah, the bread with tea. Sometimes we have butter with it, and then you have this at 7. 8 o'clock you have assembly. Then you go to class again around 8:15. Once you go to class all the way to 11:30. After that, around 12:30 comes lunchtime. But this is not for lunchtime, I believe. This is maybe for the next day. Yeah.
For the next day.
Yeah. Inshallah.
So as for now, how many students are there in total for those 3 departments? The Tahfidh, Darul Akram, and Mahad.
Kuna wanafunzi wangapi walio You see the tap area here? Yes. This is where exactly we used to wash our clothes. We used to do wudu here, and these were the toilets we used to use. The marahil is over here. Alhamdulillah. So sometimes when they would do some offerings of, let's say, lamb, goat, or sheep, or it might be a cow even. Sometimes we get some of the meat, and we would wash it here, and then we go cook over there. But if you look carefully here at the moment, where we used to sometimes cook. But we used to sometimes cook. Now you don't cook anymore.
Oh,
yeah, not anymore.
Already, yeah.
Yeah, everything.
So the movements have been changed.
Yes, subhanallah.
Every time it's been improved.
You see over there, that's exactly where we used to play tournaments for football and matches and that.
So apart from you studying here, you're getting time for other co-curriculums?
Yes.
So apart from you as a Sheikh, any co-curriculum activity? You remember being...
we used to do hifz for the part of the day, basically. They're nearly 80% of the day. But the rest of the other 10, we used to divide it to doing Arabic studies, Islamic studies, and then because we were not focusing on that, but we needed some of it, then the rest of the other 10% is resting or playing football and, and all of that. That's not including the eating and everything else, yeah. We used to have all of that. So it's not like you're in a strict campus as if you went to a military one. Actually, it was quite fun at the same time. So sometimes we'll play football, wait for dinner time, come for dinner, go back playing football again until we go back to class again. Yeah.
That's good.
Alhamdulillah. Hapa huku juu ni madomu, si ndio? Wa hifdhi. Ndio tuingia hapa nini? Hifdhi mara moja. Mashallah. Hii sehemu mpya kwamba ule ukweli. Mimi niliipata ikishamaliza kujengwa, baadhi ya wanafunzi walihamia, lakini sisi hatukuipata kwa sisi tulihamia. Ilikuwa tayari tushatoka. Wasikia harufu nani khatibu? Harufu maharagwe.
Maharagwe yako chini sasa hapo
yapo.
Tuwaona
ni TV ya thamani tunawajuza sahihi jamani tuishike.
What's the size of the meat?
The size of the meat was literally more like a fish. This before was the cooking area. You know what I mean? Now this has become the dining area, so they shifted it outside. What happened is that I think the amirs who literally control the food and everything, they stay in here.
And what about the plates? I see the plates are big.
Yeah, the plates are big. Some of the plates are their own. Students come with their own plates, so they get
During
stolen.
the admission time?
Yeah. So sometimes someone takes it, but because it has a mark, they get it back. But majority of the times you receive a plate from inside, you use that, clean it, return it.
So just a small plate for someone, for one person?
Yeah, you buy your own plate, so you can put, once you get the food, you can shift it. Come, together.
So this is the initial food,
Yes.
which Sheikh Mustafa Mahmoud.
This, we call it in Swahili, ugali.
Yes.
In English, I don't know, I'll call it African cake. Well, I'm not eating alone. I am not eating alone.
I'll accompany you.
Nani?
It's a pleasure to having a lunch session with Sheikh Mustafa Mahmoud.
Alhamdulillah. As we are in the prefects area and that, it's honestly not just a privilege to be in here, but it's a privilege to even have you guys over here.
So you used to be a prefect?
Somehow, not all the time. I used to run away from it.
Because of the...
I don't like it.
Oh, you don't like the
Ever since, I'll be honest with you, ever since I was young, I wasn't the person that wanted to be at the forefront. Bismillah.
This is, I call it sima, and this is mchicha, but not the Swahili mchicha.
Spinach.
Spinach. Wow.
Somehow.
With,
I don't even know another name.
This is the size, yeah? I know some of my camera crew, this is just a little one, because some of our cameramen here, they eat almost a full bread, yeah,
But I'll be honest with you, if you look at the size of the bread per student, it's a generous size.
of course.
Yeah, it doesn't look, it's not a size where you say it looks quite stingy, you will keep the student hungry. If a student has this and they literally have a small knife to slice the bread, a bread knife, with tea, alhamdulillah, you already had something in the morning.
You read on our just a normal life, we can't have a bread without jam.
Yes.
What time of this boarding school here?
Sometimes they would give you the butter, sometimes you buy the butter yourself. We even had days we used to cook mahamri.
Wow.
Yeah. If you ask the students around, we used to call them makandamoya. You know why?
Yeah.
Because men are the ones that cook them and they don't even know how to cook them.
So they have a shapeless, yeah?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. So those days were literally celebration days. We were given the whole Thursday to Friday, the whole evening of Thursday, all the way to Friday morning, and people enjoy all those mahamri. And sometimes some of us used to keep maharaghi in the night, beans in the night, and have that as well with it. So it wasn't like we were hungry. We were not hungry. But the food, as you consume it, your energy that you burn is as if you're not eating anything. That's the truth. Because you're constantly reading, running around, playing, and doing this activity, that work. You have homework and everything. So how would you really gain that weight?
Panda juu sasa.
Ile yote library say.
Mlango juu sasa hiyo.
Mashallah. You know, at our time we didn't have this big of a library.
Oh.
So they are really blessed right now. If that whole section is a library, alhamdulillah, that's a big ni'mah.
That's a big achievement. So how do you feel, Sheikh Mustafa, when you're being called that your dad is here for visiting you?
When I was in boarding?
Yeah, when I was in boarding. Just imagine,
Fantastic.
you are just a student like them for 20 years back. You are wearing the same kanzo or the same uniform, then being called by Sheikh Mullah that your dad is here to see you with a lot of goodies. How do you feel?
I used to feel very nice, I'll be honest with you. But today, if you ask me that feeling compared to how I feel now, if you look at the world in exactly its order and how it is compared to how people are living in here, I literally feel those inside here are much more safer than those who are out there. If I did have a choice, I would have stayed in here as well. The food for me doesn't really matter. The areas of sleeping, alhamdulillah, And the fact that you are in an environment where you can feel the security of practicing your religion, having the chance to be in a library and study, that's something when you're in the real world, you don't get there, you don't get it as much. But reality will remain reality, isn't it? Nothing changes. Alhamdulillah. Sheikh Omar, barakallahu fik. Sasa Allah kujaze kheri kwa usaidizi wako na kutembeza kwako na jaza yako kwa Mungu inshallah. Shukrani. Tuonane sawa. Allah kujaze kheri. Tutakuja kwa mara nyingine inshallah. Kama utaweza kutuzuru kwa sani yako, ukiweza kuja Jumapili ndio. Kama hukuweza nitakuja mimi mwenyewe inshallah.
Tutajua inshallah. Inshallah. Nafika Jumapili.
Inshallah. Jazakumullah khair.
Shukran.
Now, one lesson that I've learned, which I said earlier, is that if you pay attention as much, you'll notice what the reality that you build when you're in here, the reality that you build when you're in here, is actually a reality which is not the truth. In fact, for those who are in here, alhamdulillah, they're living one of the best lives compared to those who are outside. So what I've learned is, as how I lived here, I've learned to appreciate so many things. If anything, it's saying alhamdulillah for where I've come from and the security which I had, compared to how the world is out there. So for the students that are in here, for those who are listening to me, honestly, do appreciate everything that you have. Appreciate the food, appreciate the sleeping places, do appreciate your studies, because no matter how glamorous it might look out there, but the security you have is far less compared to in here, inshallah. That's it.
Sasa tunajivunia kwa marefu na mapana. Sasa tunajivunia kwa marefu na mapana.